What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. I, like to do the whole, ding dong, the witch is dead thing, but, I always think about, from a business standpoint, people's jobs and things like that. It's, anytime a company is either failing or getting bought out, even though it may be just the market doing what it's doing to, make the landscape correct. I mean, capitalism at the end always wins. People vote with their dollars and, so on and so forth. So, but we are in the midst of witnessing, in my opinion, the beginning of the end of Panini. And I was just recently, it's been recently brought to my attention, and as everybody's talking about, I think Sports Card Radio was the first one to break it about the imminent sale of Panini to Fanatics. And so I think the idea is that it's going to be it's going to be announced at the what's the summit that's coming up here. I think they're kind of waiting for that to make that announcement at that point, but. It's pretty much as done of a deal as it can be without actually somebody from either side announcing it. But, I mean, there's been a lot of things going on recently that have really already kind of pointed to, the beginning of the end, right? The fact that Panini is no longer, obviously it all started with Panini no longer having the licenses for either NBA or NFL, for that matter. Really it just started with that. So Panini America, which is separate from the parent company, which is Panini, that it's more international than anything. Panini America lost I would say the two biggest licenses that they had, which was NBA and NFL. They're trying to replace it with things like, like the UFC and maybe some of the soccer leagues and things like that. But I don't really see that, making up the difference in terms of revenue. But, there's been a lot of things that if you kind of look back and see, there've been some markers, right, that are really indicating that, Panini probably understands that this is, getting towards the end. After losing their licenses, obviously that was a big hit. And then Fanatics buying out Topps was the next kind of move there. As, the big bad wolf is at the door now, right? And I say big bad wolf, but that's kind of painting Fanatics in a negative light. I tend to be pretty positive about this whole turnover in terms of who's in charge of the licenses and going forward, who's going to be putting out product. I tend to think that Fanatics is a little bit more positioned from a structural standpoint or just from a business standpoint to be able to better effectively put out product to the consumers. And in my opinion, I think we the consumers are gonna benefit a little bit more from that. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments on that, but that's kind of my position, is that I think Fanatics is gonna come in. They do a relatively good job of taking these licensing deals and distributing them, getting manufacturers on board that are top tier manufacturers, and then distributing through their websites, or hopefully they're gonna try to have a better relationship with the local card shops and things like that, and hopefully what that ultimately ends up with is better quality product, and hopefully just some good volume to the consumer, and not really in the hands of the middlemen who have been profiting ridiculous amounts of money over the last couple of years. And I'm all for people profiting, so I'm not too mad about that. But I think it's to the point, they've been profiting at the detriment of the general public, which is the general collector who would like to pick up a hobby box for a couple $100 and not have to pay $1,500, $2,000 for a box of cardboard. And that's where we're at. That's where we got. We're not there anymore. I think it's starting to come back down. But I think hopefully Fanatics will kind of really put that to an end and kind of get us back to some sense of normalcy, right? But another thing that I'm looking at too is, I was on the Panini website the other day, and we'll jump over here for a second. I was on the Panini website the other day, and one of the things that kind of shocked me was that there's still hobby product available on the website. I mean, I can still go buy this box. I mean, it's Chronicles, right? So it's not the greatest thing in the world. I personally like Chronicles. It doesn't have really much appeal to the general hobby public, but I like Chronicles. You get a lot of designs. You get, especially in a hobby situation where you get 2 autographs and things like that. And this is a pretty good, rookie class, going forward. But to still have it be on the website, we're talking available for sale. We're talking months after, almost a month after the release. I think it was a month when this released. Let's see here. Yeah, I want to say it's like 3 weeks to a month that this has been on the website. Or it might be 2 weeks, but still. I mean, a year ago, if you would have told me that there would be hobby product available on the website again for weeks at a time, we would have scoffed at that. But, here we are, right? I don't anticipate that Optic is going to be there very long once it drops. Mosaic, Select, Spectra. There's a couple of products that they've already been putting out here. WNBA Hobby, Panini 1. Is this collegiate? Yeah, collegiate basketball. So, I mean, there's some... When is this coming? It doesn't say, does it? Anywho. But it was still shocking to me to see that. The other thing that I saw was this G League. I mean, why is there G League? I mean, what, you guys lost the NBA license. Why are we printing G League product? I mean, if there's any product that I don't think will ever sell, it's going to be a G League product. Somebody did bring this up in the Retro Hoops Facebook, which if you guys want to check that out, it's in the description, that you could potentially take a player that's in the G League, a really good player that's in the G League, and if he gets called up to the NBA and ends up having a really good game there, then that you could potentially net some value there. But I don't know. I think this product is completely worthless. It does nothing for anybody unless you're a fan of the G League, which I would imagine are very few and far between. I really think, I'll jump off of here. I just really think that, we're kind of witnessing the beginning of the end here. And I, for one, am pretty, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a positive change. I think it's going to be something that is going to bring more value to the general collector, to the general collection public. And if Fanatics is going to treat this in any way like they've done with, with their memorabilia, with their the apparel side of things and the way that they've been handling, the distribution of that. I think we're going to be, the hobby is in relatively good hands for the next, for the foreseeable future, I suppose. Not a lot of people feel that way, unfortunately, but I'm really curious to get you guys' thoughts, on this situation. Do you feel positive about what Fanatics is about to, with Fanatics taking over? What are some of the things that you are already seeing from Fanatics, or maybe that you've already seen in the past from Fanatics that make you positive about the outlook? And then maybe some things that you feel like they don't do really well, that's not going to translate well over to the sports card hobby. So I'm really curious to get everybody's opinion on this. Like I said, you guys know my stance. I'm pretty positive. And, ultimately, I would like to be able to rip product. I like ripping. A lot of people don't like ripping. Some people like buying singles. They're strictly single buyers. I like to rip product. I just don't want to have to mortgage my house to do so. And I wish we could get there as soon as possible. But I'll end on that note. I appreciate you guys watching. Please, if you have not already, check out the Card Hedge podcast. It's on Apple, Google, Stitcher, and links down below if you guys want to check that out. We're on 2 episodes now. We're on our 3rd this week that drops on Saturday. We do an episode every Saturday, so check that out. And if you guys like the videos and stuff, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good jazz. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Love y'all. Peace.